welcome to the FPL USA Press Play program. We are now bigger than just a humble podcast. We also have a YouTube program where we are looking to grow our audience. So please subscribe and give a like if you are so inclined. I'm one of the hosts, Bucks, based in Brooklyn, and I'm joined by two fellow Chelsea lads. Both of them happy to be here, but we are thrilled to have a special guest. So let me first pass the mic to my co-host, Brian. Chinny, say hello.
What's good? Bucks, good
and
to see
Brian,
you.
I want you to intro our special guest. Come on, this is what the listeners are all here for. Enough of us in the doldrums of the hundreds and millions rank overall. Let's talk to an actual expert. Who did we bring in for that role?
Yeah, that's right. We have a member of hashtag FPL USA, Jack Sudar, aka at FPL Pensioners, just started his X account. You can see it on the screen here. And he is joining us to go through some of his maneuvers and his chip strategy and everything else that's got him to be roughly top 1,200 in the world right now. So very impressive overall rank. And we look forward to getting to know Jack on the show. So what's good, man? How you doing?
Doing good, having the year of my life. I think it's my 9th year playing FPL, and wow. I've had some flashes in the past, but this year has gone especially well for me.
Jack, maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like you've been a pretty strong FPL manager for at least the last 3 seasons. I kind of remember seeing you in some of our mini leagues, if not at the top, then definitely competing for, some European places, so to speak.
Yeah, I think the last 6 years, except for last year, I finished top 500K every single year. I had 1 year that I finished, I think, at 58,000. With 13 million players, if you're top 130,000, you're top 1%. So for me, that's sort of elite. You can crack the top 100, you're doing really good. So I've danced around there before, but cracking top 1,000 has been a lot of fun this year.
Oh man.
And I know you're all chipped out though. So we are, we're recording right now. You're about 1,200 in the world. There's still 2 game weeks to go. Just before we get any further into the glow up, tell us, you have any players still to play their second match of double game week 36?
Oh, plenty of players, Bucks. You're blowing the lead here. We'll get into his team. We're gonna put our current scores.
I want to hear it from the legend. Enough
a little bit.
We don't want to hear from Mr. 300,000 or Mr. 3 million. We're talking.
I'm just saying we want to let him walk the viewers through visually of his squad
fair,
when we get to that point.
Let's marinate.
Yeah, that's right. That's a tease for a couple minutes from now. But first, we'll just ask Jack a few other interview questions. So where do you hail from and what team do you support?
If it's not obvious, Chelsea fan, got a FA Cup John Terry kid on here. He's actually sort of the reason I'm a fan of the team. Going back 20 years ago, I was just really in hard-nosed defense. And at the time, John Terry was the best. Ever since then, just been a huge diehard Chelsea fan. They're my favorite sport. I mean, they're my favorite team in my favorite sport.
Wow.
So, yeah, just been supporting Chelsea for a long time here. And it's been a pretty fun 20 years, I have to say.
Not the last couple, but before that, maybe.
It's been entertaining. Blueco is certainly, it's been a bit of a circus, but it's been a circus that's been at least somewhat fun to watch. There's been a lot of highs and lows. I mean, we just won the Champions League in 2021. I mean, that was right in the middle of all that turmoil, but I'm still enjoying it,
Don't forget a Club World Cup or whatever that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that thrashing to PSG especially I'm still somewhat living off of that high. It's been a pretty low lately, but that was a really fun summer last year.
There's some rumors going around, right, Bucks, about a new Chelsea manager potentially.
Yeah, it's all to be revealed in short order, and pretty cool, Jack. I feel like our Chelsea fandom probably was birthed around the same time. I played center defensive mid and center back growing up in my travel team, and I went in 2004, 2005 to the Bridge with my grandparents for their 50th anniversary, and that was right when Lampard broke into the team. It was right as they kind of went on that run of starting to become, the club that we know them as today, like European champions, Premier League champions. So I was there right as the kind of the screws turned for the good. And unfortunately, I'm now raising my kids as the kind of screw is turning back to the shit. But who knows? There's still time.
Luckily, they're young enough where they can forget these moments. They're all kind of 6 years and under. So hopefully in a few years when they start to form their sports memories, they'll forget some of these random hundreds of millions of euros.
Fandom isn't all fun, man. You got to be there for the good and for the pain.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. That's where you really get your stripes.
We got a FA Cup final coming up here, I think is it Saturday or Sunday this week?
Saturday, yep.
Can we do the same thing we did in 2021 and pull the upset? That's what you got to hope for.
I mean, in 2012 against Bayern, Chelsea was underdog there. I mean, the Club World Cup this year, I think there's a history of rising to the occasion in those big moments. So I'm hoping for it.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, with this group, who knows? Who knows? But good to hear. And you are based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I missed that one. Born and raised, still here. Love it here. We got a shout out to Highbury Pub down in Bayview. Yeah. Great little soccer pub. A lot of different fans from different teams of all different types of leagues of soccer.
Yeah. I remember I watched a few matches there, and I think the FPL Blues of Milwaukee had a big event there. Tons of Chelsea supporters. This was like a couple years ago. But yeah, it was great to be at that event, and there had some giveaways and just a good community. So you love to see everybody getting out early for a coffee and beer where the Premier League's on.
Jack, I got one critical question as a resident of the great state of Wisconsin. What is your choice to pair with a good beer? Cheese curds or a brat?
I mean, you can't go wrong with either, but I would say more times than not, I'd probably go with a brat.
Wow, you're true homer. I like that answer.
I feel like the cheese curds go with the beer and the brat. I thought you were going to say like pretzel, German pretzel, and or cheese curds. An appetizer.
They all
you can't
count.
Just put
they
the brat up against a side. Yeah, instead of salads, there's lots of fried cheese curds in the state of Wisconsin if you want to upgrade your meal. So that's the state of the state when you see a few people walking around with a few extra pounds hanging off their sides. But I digress. Anyway, let's go here to more FPL talk, and we're going to share our screen here, and we're going to kick things off to take a look at where we are in double game week 36. We're at the end of the marathon. Nearly time for everybody to hopefully pull out a few rabbits out of their final hats and see where we're at. So, look at that. Let's do this live. First and foremost, let's start with Jack. Walk us through your team, the Pensioners.
Okay. I guess I don't know where to start other than I'm just looking at Muniz and LaCroix, and I feel like I got to talk about them right away because that was my biggest bet this week.
2 transfers in.
Yeah, 2 transfers in. I don't have any right now, any transfers that is, and I figured with only 2 weeks left, I'm not really building for the future. I'm building for points now, trying to chase rank. I sort of like the way my team looks for game week 37 and 38, so I was really just trying to maximize here. And I thought that Palace-Everton fixture looked really juicy. Palace has been one of the better defensive sides in the past 10 game weeks. I know people don't necessarily feel that way because the attack's been pretty shit with them. But
yeah,
defensively, they've been pretty solid. LaCroix or however you say it, has been pretty solid for DEFCON. Muniz has also been solid for DEFCON, and you can get into the attack as well. So I was hoping that the Everton fixture would go well. It didn't. But they still have a full fixture ahead of them. My main concern is minutes. But I hopefully get at least one, if not both of those guys starting that game. I hopefully get a little bit of DEFCON. At this point, I'm looking at, Gross and Calvert-Lewin on my bench, both scoring 6 this week. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But everything else here went sort of all right. The Brighton defense really helped a ton. I got 6 out of the clean sheet from both Verbruggen and Van Heck.
Solid.
I've transferred Saka in this week, too, for Palmer. Chelsea is a bit of a sinking ship, especially in the Premier League. As much as it pained me to get rid of Palmer, it just felt like the move to make. I still think Saka the next 2 game weeks is going to be a good hold.
Next week's the captaincy week, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely on my consideration for captaincy next week. Gabriel is, I mean, he could be player of the season this year. It's him or Bruno, one of those two for me. So happy to get 11 out of him. Bruno
Yeah,
just
especially
appointed.
in FPL, I think he's only like 6 to 8 points away from the all-time highest scoring defensive player. Obviously, DefCon has helped with that, but he's going to be right up there in terms of FPL points for defenders all time since the game has launched. So yeah, so overall you're on 63 points, and you still have 5 double game week players to go. So hopefully you can get a little bit of luck. Maybe, I don't see them cleaning, but like you said, if you can get DEFCON or a Munoz assist or something like that, that'd be super helpful. And then I know going into this week, you were talking about, do I go Semenyo to Cherokee? And so far you're up 2 points in that transaction because Cherokee got the 59th minute walk of shame back to the bench. So 1 pointer for a lot of FPL managers. So all right, lots of opportunity ahead. I mean, looking at your rank now, what is your goal? You want to be, top 500, top 750? Like, what is your realistic, goal with the kind of 2.5 game weeks remaining?
Well, every week I've tried to reassess that, but since game week 27, I've stayed within the top 2K. And that was
Huge.
9 weeks ago.
Yeah, amazing.
So trying to stick with that as a floor. Like, I don't want to drop below the top 2K. I would like to get, well within the top 1K. I mean, that's really the goal here.
Triple digits. Anything in the triple digits would be historic. Top 1,000.
Yeah, heroic.
Yeah, that'd be quite impressive. So I hope you can pull it off. And your team's in good shape for the last two. I think you and I were DMing a little bit back and forth. Like, I was really keen on maybe just doing one of the Crystal Palace defenders, so you had your powder dry for maybe having 2 transfers next week. But I digress. You'll be in a pretty good spot here. You got a full playing bench, so you'll be able to make some calls and then figure out. I mean, game week 38 is always tough. So good start. Overall small red midweek, but you got five players to go. So we'll see how that goes. And I know a lot of people are on. Some people are on bench boost. Some people are on free hit. Some people are on triple captain. So a lot to be played in the next couple of weeks. Let's go to Mr. Bucks. 65 points. Talk to us, Bucks.
Less extraordinary. I also took a hit like Jack. I brought in Saka and Sazbazlai. I was really between the Sazbaz man and Sar. I kind of just felt like Sar maybe wasn't going to start both the games, and I felt like going against Chelsea defense. We only have one game that really matters this season, and it's the FA Cup final. So I think that they are kind of capitulating to the inevitable off season, which can't come soon enough if you're a Chelsea fan. And yeah, so I sold Palmer and Enzo for Saka and Sazuzlai, took a -4 hit. And of course, Enzo scored. And really, Palmer was like millimeters off a mega haul as well. So once again, the transfers kind of backfired on me. But, I'm not going to take it too seriously right now. I have Saka in place. I have more free transfers that I will be using and maybe even taking another hit next week. So yeah, my team's fine. I'm not going to finish close to some of the rank targets that I had initially set out for myself. But again, I think that, I'm doing the most I can. I can't go out and, force João Pedro to have that penalty given.
Just fall over and get the pen.
Yeah. I can't make the ball, somehow move from the outside of the post, which Sauce was like hit very convincingly, to, just sneaking in. So I'm doing the most I can with a not great situation. And yeah, I've used all my chips well. So really, when it comes to the story of the season, it's all on me and my managerial fluffing that I've done many game weeks without the chips.
Yeah, so this week, who are the big rank killers for you guys? Must have been Senesi was the main one.
Yeah.
Like, who else really set you back? Senesi and Sar?
Sar, I think her. I think also, honestly, Holland, even though we both captained him, I feel like a lot of triple
244. 244 EO. So the fact that we didn't triple captain him, I know I'm one of those dunces that triple captain Gabrielle.
Same.
Yeah.
Note to self.
All three of us.
Yeah, note to self. Keep it on an attacker. I think we were saying as much leading into the double game week. I think it was double game week, 29 all the way back.
Brentford and Wolves, and they didn't call either of them, right?
Of course. Haaland now is in territory where he had an 11-pointer, but really it could go even bigger. And I think I'm fully expecting and prepared that he's going to score again in that Bournemouth fixture. So, he's going to be approaching 20 points pretty comfortably. And so that's a little L for the three
Bournemouth
of us for sure.
You mean Palace?
Sorry. Yes.
Yep.
I think he's scoring for sure.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Just quickly.
What about your team, Brian? Show the listeners.
I copied and pasted Jack's team over mine since things were running pretty late here. But
that's very kind to our listeners' eyeballs. I'm sure no one wants to see.
Yeah,
this.
I think I'm going without Haaland, so I'm up against 22-point hole. So no Haaland since game week 16 or 17, something like that. So we're at 4.5 million. We're on 43 points this game week. We got O'Reilly captained. Not going great. So
still time to pull it back.
Still time. Yeah, I got free hit left, so that'll be fun to chase some bounties with free hit either next week or the week after. But we don't need to talk about that anymore. I'm just happy the season is almost over and I can forget about this one and put it behind me. But let's look ahead to the weekend here. We got a Friday fixture. Villa hosting Liverpool. Villa looking to maybe capitalize and cement their status for Champions League. Still not locked, right? Mathematically, Bucks?
No, I think they are now. They're going to make it if they win the Europa League, then they'll the sixth place will. So I think they're pretty set and forget they're in. The big storyline here is that, if Liverpool lose this one, then they could actually fall to be in fifth place. And then that kind of screws up the entire moving pieces, that the kind of musical chairs that a lot of chasing top half of the table Premier League teams are wishing for, because the spot only drops to the spot only drops auto qualifying to the sixth place team if the fifth place team is the one that wins the Europa League. I know that's a little convoluted.
Yeah.
There's a situation where at least 9 Premier League teams, I believe it could be 10, but 9 right now looks like the sweet spot, could all make it, because we have Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace all competing in European League finals. And then Chelsea are in the FA Cup. So there is a situation where, most of your favorite top half of the table teams will have European competitions next season. Lots still to play for. And Brian's dead. So as we keep it moving, I think that Liverpool-Villa match is really interesting because notably Villa have that match that they are going to need to be focused on, the Europa League final. So I almost wonder if this Liverpool match is one that they have circled as kind of the one they can rotate in. I know it's home. It is their last home match of the season. So I'm really interested to how Emery will play that, because he is kind of the knockout ball king when it comes to those European competitions. You have a prediction, Jack?
I mean, I'm just so locked in on FA Cup on Saturday that I am not even from an FPL perspective, I'm into the weekend this weekend. But, Villa Liverpool, I think it'll be a tight match, maybe a 1-0 win either side. I don't feel super strongly either way. I mean, I think Villa's definitely got to be focused on Europe more than anything. But they could qualify for Champions League naturally just by the way they play in the league. So it matters to them. And I can't think Liverpool is going to drop out of the top 5. So, I mean, I don't know.
Looks like you might be leading to more goals than you initially teased. I think this one has 2-2, 2-1, maybe to the visitors. I think right now, Villa will be distracted. So I don't expect we're going to see Watkins and say Cash and some of the other guys that are maybe due to be starting in the Europa League final. I think those guys might start on the bench and then just get, a run out in the last 20 minutes. So, I think this could be a perfect time to sell a lot of those popularly owned Villa assets like Morgan Rogers or an Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good week for Villa assets at all. I mean, definitely would not want them. I think Villa plays City in game week 38. So
Yeah, it's like sell, sell, sell.
I mean, I'm looking at Arsenal and Everton assets. If I'm buying anybody right now, I think those are the teams
Oh,
that sort of
interesting.
attract me the most. I mean,
Okay,
Arsenal has
give a little
Burnley.
bit more of that. Let's talk about this, Jack, because there's a situation where if Man City, let's say they split the points with Palace in the midweek, Arsenal have the title won. So I think this is one of those situations where it's really important that you don't make an early transfer, because I know I have an open Arsenal spot and they play Burnley next. But if they win the title with Man City dropping points, right? There's no way I'm going to be going for a third Arsenal player. They'll be starting, some academy kids we've never heard of before. So that's kind of the big risk that I'm seeing there. You
I
rate that or no?
No, I think your head's in the totally right spot. I don't see it happening though. I fully expect City to beat Palace. That would be a bit of a shock
Like
to me.
buzzsaw.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to game week 38. I mean, yeah, it could get wrapped up before then. So I think you want to wait on the transfers. I completely agree, but I think in all likelihood it's going to game week 38, and I think Arsenal's going to bob the league. That's my hot take.
I like that. And of course, on the other side of the table, we also have a pretty knockout, drag out fight for relegation right now. We saw Spurs split points today. West Ham cruelly undone at the final whistle as they hosted Arsenal.
Call
which
the
has
league
been
office, Bucks.
I've levied my complaints to anyone who will listen. Notably, they don't care what a stupid Yankee is thinking at 300,000 rank.
Both Spurs and Arsenal, they just pooled their money together to make the call up to the commissioner and put the fix in. Jeez.
Yeah, so if we look at 37 under the microscope, we mentioned Arsenal. They host Burnley. I think that's, in bold letters, the best fixture to target for FPL, should there still be stakes at play. Any other matches, Jack, Brian, that you want to focus in on?
I mean, I really like Everton at home against Sunderland. Everton's been in really good form lately. I think that's a bit
Especially
of a juicy
at home.
matchup, especially at home. And Sunderland has been on a bit of a downward trend. I think
They're
there's a lot of
safe.
assets you could take from Everton.
You think that's a potential for a clean sheet for Everton?
Yeah, I think the Everton defenders are definitely good bets. I'd personally probably go Tarkowski, but you could go Keane if you're wanting to go a little differential. And I think Keane might actually be a little bit better for DEFCON lately too.
Yeah, Tarkowski got that big haul though, so I know that's going to play front and center in a lot of managers' minds.
Yeah, might have been a has been moment. So just let those points walk away from you and go elsewhere.
Yeah,
I'm really interested in teams that are still chasing something. So you're looking at Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford, kind of the trio of teams that are fighting for those European slots outside of UCL. So, Bucks, what do you think between those three teams? I hate to say it, Chelsea's probably not going to be able to catch them.
I think that's a good shout. I think for me, it would be Brentford. I know, Thiago I think he has 23 goals. It's like a banner debut season for the Brazilian striker at Brentford. They continue to be the best club at scouting strikers in world football for their size and their bank account. So bravo to them.
Pound for pound, some impressive recruitment. That team internally needs raises there at the GTech.
Yeah, if only Chelsea, tried to steal their model instead of Brighton's, we might actually have some good goal scorers.
I mean, what did they sell Vissa for? Like 40, 50 million? I don't think he scored a single goal this season in the Premier League. They just replace 60. Him with the cement truck man himself, Thiago. Just comes in and hauls. Big chance after big chance. He's missed a bunch too, but he's obviously in the right spots more times than not. So.
Yeah, so I think that game has blowout potential with Palace being the visitors. They will be, fully focused on fitness and maintaining their ideal first team for the Conference League final, which they feature in. So, I think Thiago is a player that's on my near-term radar as a player to transfer in. He is, still potentially in the Golden Boot chase, and if he can earn his team a Europa League auto qualifier spot, that's everything to play for. And he's a 90-minute man.
So who do you have? Like João Pedro? You're thinking about jumping off
I have João Pedro. I also have DCL. So one move that
sixes and twos.
One move that I think could make a lot of sense for managers like me that are chasing is, embrace the chaos and maybe go like DCL to Krupi Jr. and João Pedro to Gyökeres to free up the money. Or if you have plenty of money and you aren't poor sod like me, then you just go João Pedro either to Gyökeres or down to Thiago. And I really like the allure of both the upside and the motivation for both those strikers.
Yeah, I like Gyökeres a lot. He's on my short list of guys I'm looking for. I think, certainly Arsenal could win the league before game week 38, but I don't see it happening, and they're going to want it. I mean, how long has it been since they lifted the Premier League trophy? Like 20 years? 25?
More, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and they have good fixtures to score down the run and get clean sheets. Gyökeres is in the best form he's been in his Premier League history. So I think he's a really good buy. I mean, he's definitely on my short list.
Yeah, and worth mentioning, they play Palace in 38, and there's huge financial implications for Palace to lose that match because selling Eze, they actually have a contractual clause which gives them an extra 10 million Great British pounds if Arsenal win the Premier League and they sold Eze to them. So the more you know, the more the corruption unwinds in real time.
I also saw something about Chelsea getting some money if, the likes of Madueke and Kepa and who else?
And Kai.
Win,
up to 45 million pounds. I saw.
That's impactful. That's a lot of coin. So
that's another Jamie Gittins.
Yeah. Stop it.
The Gittins has gotten tough.
The wound is open and it's fresh.
I swear he scored points in Fuckle in UCL fantasy last year for Dortmund Mundo, but it's been rough.
He scored in the Champions League. What are you talking about? He was a real player once upon a time.
Yeah. Sheesh. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep it moving here. Let's take a look at a few of the questions. I got to hit the refresh button real quick here. All right. We got an update. Right. Hey, there's Black Wolf in our #FPL community mailbag. Bucks, why don't you read through a few of these questions and Jack will weigh in.
Sure. Well, Jack, we've officially got you involved. Our hooks are in you, and you're now going to be entered into the #FPL USA leagues going forward for next season. So prepare for that party. My Cayman fan, aka Matt, he's asking, what advice does Jack have for those last 2 game weeks for any managers that are chasing with a realistic chance of catching their mini league rivals? He's giving the bandwidth of about 30 points. You have any like deep cuts or players that are on your transfer short list that you want to shout out?
This might be a bit of a boring answer, but I think this is just good advice for any FPL week. Whether you're trying to chase something out, is make the best decision. I think trying to chase a differential for differential's sake is usually the wrong move if you're trying to jump rank.
Oh man, I'm experiencing that this year.
Yeah. Like, that's me going Sosba's live for SARS. Like, just take the more fixtures, you big idiot.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, I did not want to captain Haaland this week because I knew that a lot of people in the top 2K might have their triple captain left, might be triple captaining him. So maybe do I do a differential captain to try to jump him? He's already got 11 points with another game to come, and I'm very glad that I did captain him. So. Sure. Part of my advice would be don't get too cute. Don't go for some guy that's less than 1% owned just because you're just trying to chase the points. Make a data-informed decision about who you think is going to be the best player. But the one caveat is if you got 1 or 2 people in a mini league ahead of you and you are quite confident about who they have in their team, think about a differential that is maybe data-informed and still good. I really like Njai on Everton this week, and I like him for 38 as well. And I like the Arsenal defensive assets a little bit more than the attackers. So If you, for some reason, don't have Gabriel, jump on him immediately. And I sort of like Calafiori or Saliba a little bit too. I don't know that a lot of people will have them, but I see Arsenal getting back-to-back clean sheets, probably.
See out the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just thinking about game theory wise, my answer would typically be look at your team. Who are the few differentials that you already have in your team? And then who are the shields? So, for example, who are some of the highest owned players in your team? And what are you projecting them to do in the next 2 game weeks, right? So, a few weeks ago, I was looking at the likes of Harry Wilson, and he was on a heater, banging in the goals. His ownership kept going up, but then it got to a point where a couple blanks in a row, and some of the data was, getting some early subs and that kind of situation. And then you're like, all right, maybe I should start fading this player now in hopes to gain ground on the FPL community while they still own them and have other fires to put out. And lo and behold, he scored 1 goal in 7 matches. So those are a few of the types of plays that you need to make. Some people have faded Thiago, for example. That hasn't gone well, but you have to find a few, especially if you're looking directly at mini league competitors, where you might be able to fade a few popular assets and bring in differentials in those slots specifically. Now, if you're just, playing to have a high rank and not chasing any specific mini league players, then yeah, I definitely agree with Jack. Make the most informed decision for your team specifically. But if you're trying to chase specific managers, then you have to really look at how many transfers they have. Who are they probably going to target to bring in? Who should I fade in a given game week? And then on top of that, maybe you need to look at differential captaincy, Gabriel instead of Saka, or vice versa for next week versus Burnley. So those are all things to consider as well. But that was better feedback last year when I was on my heater than it is this year. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I got one spicy one just to throw into the spammer. So I'm not sure about what either of your perspective or if you've looked at it as of yet, but I will not be captaining Bruno Fernandes again this season. I just looked at it, and when I see the schedule and I see the fixtures that I already have in place in my team, he's a pretty expensive player that if I was really serious about going all out and trying to chase 30, he might be a player that I would sell. It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be the Premier League player of the season. But because United don't really have anything to play for anymore, they can't go up to second. They can't drop to fourth. He's going to start. He's going to play. He's probably going to get a couple assists. But I don't necessarily think that he's going to be fully motivated to get the 13-point haul that he's gotten so many times this season. So he's a player that, might be on my transfer out list for game week 38 if I'm feeling itchy.
I mean, I hear you, but I just can't buy into that. I don't think there's been...
You have stakes to play for, Jack. I'm not faulting you for that.
I just think Bruno's been so good. I mean, I said earlier, it's either Bruno or Gabriel have been the player of the year for me, and I'm going down the ship with both of them. I mean, Bruno's been fantastic this year. I mean,
But are you going to captain him? Maybe
I
captain.
Might.
Okay.
I mean, 37, I got 3 players I'm realistically considering captain. And it's Gabriel and Bruno are 2 of them.
And Saka, yeah.
And Saka is the 3rd, yeah. I'm currently leaning towards Gabriel for the...
Interesting, okay.
I mean, you said earlier, captaining defender a mistake, and in the case of all 3 of us triple captaining them, it was a mistake.
Sure.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
Learned.
I don't know that I've learned my lesson, because I'm looking at Arsenal at home to Burnley against the best defense in the Premier League and a guy who's consistently putting up 6 to 10 points. I mean, if he gets 6 to 10 points and I captain him, I'm not going to feel bad about that.
That's true. And he's going to play the full 90 as opposed to Saka, who we don't even know if he's going to start, let alone if he's going to play 65 minutes.
If I really wanted to go differential and I was chasing mini game or mini league rank, I would maybe consider Saka, but he's 3rd to me right now. And Bruno's my 2nd. I mean, okay. Bruno's just been so good. They're playing Forest, I think, this week, who have not been playing great lately. And
yeah, ever since Chelsea, smashed 5 of their heads open in that brutal 3-1 disaster match. Yeah, It's harder to play football, turns out, at a professional level when your head is split in two. It's word to the wise, and I'm not even a doctor, but I figured that out pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going. Jeremy, aka FPL Barrister, he was an awesome guest, also from hashtag FPL USA for last week's episode. What players no one talking about, but should be on our teams for the end of the season?
I mean, I could tackle that quickly. I could just tell you my short list for game week 37. There's only 1 week after that left. These are players I want for both weeks. It'd either be Saliba or Calafiori in defense. I'd go Gyökeres up top if you're looking for an Arsenal attacker. And if you're looking at the midfield, I'm between Njai, Rice, or Wilson. I think all of those players are good bets. I don't know that any of them are super differential, but I don't know that a lot of people are getting Njai and Wilson or Calafiori in their teams right now.
Yeah. Calafiori's one to monitor. He actually had to come off with what could be a knock, so that might rule him out as kind of the most differential of that bunch, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he still might return. He came off at halftime, and some of the reporters were saying it wasn't an injury, but Arteta was saying it was. But he was out celebrating with the team afterwards, and he looked fine.
Yeah, he was partying like he wasn't injured. I saw that too.
So, if anything, he might just be more fresh. And I mean, I'm considering bringing him in myself.
What happened with Benny Blanco? He went off
injured. He's dead.
Yeah, he's done.
So, he's the new Reece James.
Play in that spot. Timber's not ready, right? So who's playing right back?
No, probably Mascara or Miles Lewis Skelly, who's been really good at midfield. To Arteta's credit, that experiment has definitely been working.
Yeah, they've needed some extra fresh legs in there, so he's been providing it.
Then he wants to know if there's any surprise names that will make the U.S. men's national team. Let's focus specifically from the Premier League. Anyone that we don't think could make it that's going to make it? Tyler Adams, maybe? See fit?
He's definitely.
I hope so.
Yeah, fair. It's slim pickings. It's really him and Aronson and Richards, I feel like, are the guys in the Premier League that.
Yeah, Richards has been great. I don't know. I don't know if any of them are surprise starters from the Premier League. I would sort of hope they're all in the team.
Yeah, good one. All right, Brian, any more listener questions, or should we get out of here and get our transfer plans and captaincy show?
We do have a couple more questions that I added. Sorry, my internet has been, I think somebody's outside with a jackhammer just fucking up the telephone lines and the wires and stuff. So apologize about that to the listeners and to my co-hosts here today. But we got two more questions. We have from Kona Hunt, aka FPL Hunt. Start any Bournemouth assets next week versus the Citizens? Frisky. No. I would say everyone's benching Senesi, and he keeps pulling up 14 and 11 pointers out of his ass. Probably good for DEFCON.
This not this game week. I think if you start one, it's probably one of the attackers like Krupi or Tavernier. But I would hope that you have a better 8th or 7th option in your attack that you can roll out.
They are playing at home. They're fighting for European slots themselves, and they're in great form. I feel like you could start Senesi or Hill with confidence that you're going to get a 3 to 4 pointer and maybe upside.
I don't see it. Jack?
First bench then. Senesi goes into.
First bench I can go with. I mean, hopefully you have better assets to start. That's what I'll say. I wouldn't jump to it. That wouldn't be in my starting 11 personally.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Leeds versus Brighton. Which defense would you start? Probably Brighton, but they're just going to let you down if you really try and count on them. But I'll let somebody else who's not as biased, doesn't have their Brighton hatred in their eyes like I do.
I'd go Brighton. I mean, they just got a clean sheet last week. I think I have to check the numbers, but they lately have been pretty solid.
They've been good. Actually. They are on the road. That's the only thing that makes it more of a toss-up for me. But I think when you look at it, Brighton have more to play for, and they will be at least one day fresher than Leeds. And that's not nothing. So I agree with you, Jack. I think Brighton.
All right. Next up from Paz, FPL Paz, he wants to know, Any other midfield punts? We've already talked about Ndai, KDH, also in Everton. Trossard, perhaps? Never a fan of Trossard, but yeah, like you said, I think Ndai is probably the one to go for if you can get some pens. I mean, he left like a 20-pointer on the table versus who was it a few weeks ago versus Chelsea, whoever it was. He's had a couple moments where I thought he was going to have easily 15 pointers, and he's blanked in those matches. But he's probably the player to look for.
I had him a lot through the first half of the season. He did not disappoint. He's sort of like a mini Bruno Fernandes. He can get you DEFCON. He can get you assists. He can get you goals. He's on pens. I mean, there's just a lot of ways to get points out of Njai. And even when he's not putting up points, he's looked really good this season. I mean, I would go there.
All right. Sounds like you might want him to be the new left winger for Chelsea.
That would be fantastic.
All right, I second that wish casting. Let's look at your game week 37 team. Who's currently got the armband and any planned transfers for you, Jack?
So we talked about this a little bit. I'm pretty locked in as this is my starting 11 with my current team. I talked through captaincy a bit too. I got it on Gabriel right now, and if I had to bet, I think it's going to stay. Bruno's the only other one I'm really thinking hard about. And Saka, I'm just worried about the minutes, but I don't think it's a bad idea. You can see here I'm betting more on the Brighton defense than the Leeds defense. I got Darlow on my bench, and I just sold Stroik last week to one of my Crystal Palace players. So I might start Darlow game week 38, but this week, keeping him on the bench. And then planned transfers. The main two I'm looking at are moving Munoz over to one of the Arsenal defenders, either Saliba or Calafiori. I'm sort of going to monitor the situation and see if Calafiori looks like he's fit to play. I might go that direction. Otherwise, I'm looking to get rid of Tavernier and moving on to Njai. So I probably will do one of those. I'm not sure which yet. I'm going to wait and see how this week plays out. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
And safe to say you'd probably bench DCL against your double Brighton defense in that scenario. He would be the one to fall out, or you have someone else?
Yeah, you nailed it. I don't really want to start him. That's part of the reason I am looking to do the transfer.
Okay, yeah, that's we're in similar boats. I am similarly also free transferred out right now. In a perfect world, I would roll the free transfer, but what am I rolling it for? To finish, top 500K? So I'm probably going to go the opposite direction. I've been listening to you. I rate your perspective, and I have an open Arsenal spot. So I am planning to go probably O'Reilly, actually, to Saliba, and Tavernier to Njai. Garner was another player. Wilson is another player that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Garner's just like, he cleans up on DEFCON and he takes the free kicks, but I just feel like I don't feel like he's going to score any goals before the end of the season. We probably missed the goal rush on James Garner. So that's where I'm at. And right now, captaincy is on Saka. Vice captaincy is on Gabriel. And if I take a hit, I'll need to swing for the fences. So I kind of like the Saka as the big swing. But we'll see what the press conferences hold and where that all shakes out. That's my thinking right now. I'll bench the Bournemouth guys once again so that they can haul for other people.
Nice one.
Moving O'Reilly out is a really interesting move. I don't know that I'd do it myself, but I do think getting a second Arsenal defender is a strong idea. O'Reilly is just like, when he's been good, he's been really good. And
he's been incredible. His XG is actually like on par with Haaland's in the last third of the season, which is mind blowing. Having said that, I kind of feel like City will realize that the league is gone, and with the FA Cup kind of the focus match in the next 10 days for them, I'm thinking there might be some rotation. So that's one of my big swings that I still feel like I have in my pocket to pull out. Brian, and I think you're free hitting, right, in 37?
Oh.
Brian?
Who knows what's going to happen on my side? We're going to figure that out later when internet's not ending my livelihood. But Bucks, I think we got to call it here. Let's thank the listeners.
All right, Brian is out due to technical difficulties. We will have him drop a solo post with his free hit 37 team for the FPL USA Press Play podcast and program. Jack, I just want to give you a sec. I know you have to run. Plug anything that you're working on, anything that you want to highlight in your life that's awesome other than your FPL team, or maybe you just want to shout out to the lovely neighbors and fellow patriots of the Highbury in Wisconsin. Whatever you want to end on, we would love to kind of flash that on our screen on your behalf. So
yeah, I don't have anything to plug. I mean, I already shout out the Highbury in Wisconsin. If you're in the Milwaukee area, go check it out. It's a great place to watch a soccer match. Shout out to my son who just turned 4 months old. Lachlan Sudar.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Papa.
Yeah.
You sleeping at all?
Finally. Yeah, it's starting to trend the other way.
My youngest just turned 1 yesterday or today. He was born on Mother's Day last year. Who knows what day it is when you have 3 kids? So I'll tell you that much.
Congrats.
Thank you. Same to you. You're sleeping. That's a big step forward.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
it lasts.
Don't say that. Yeah. Jaded first-time parents here.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on, Jack. Best of luck. We want to see you end the season at the top 1K and at the top of the FPL USA Press Play Palooza League, where you are going to receive a kit if you take that league down. So
please, no more free Liverpool kits. Let me send some Chelsea kits.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, love that. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Apologies about the technical difficulties. Good luck in Game Week 37. We'll be back with Black Wolf for the Game Week 38 preview, and most likely my free hit team. And without further ado, good luck with those green arrows, boys.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, guys.